it's fair to say that this relationship for you guys has really gone at a fairly slow and steady pace.
I feel like from the wedding day and like our honeymoon, that was pretty full on. We were really like into each other and quite affectionate and all those things very early on. And then I guess we got to
know each other.
Then it really back down. But we've managed to get through the experiment.
Of course, with the two of you, there was always a third party involved in your relationship.
Well, that's us.
And that person was Patrick's mother, Ruby. So why don't we take a moment now and just look back at some of those moments.
Let's do this.
How do I say this in the best way? I'm getting married. I'm not sure who it is.
Why do you want to get married this way, Patrick?
You know, my previous partners.
Yeah, no, the last one was a disaster.
This is
I'm really so happy to be here.
I'm gonna make myself. She's loud, she's outspoken, and a bit crazy as well. I think this is a bad idea. I think I can turn it around and say, Patrick, you choose. It's her or me. So how was your honeymoon? How was your first night? My gut feeling tells me that Patrick and Charlene's relationship will not last.
Ooh. Ooh, Ruby.
So Pat, Ruby certainly isn't afraid to speak her mind.
No, that's exactly right.
How much does her opinion matter to you?
You know, if she did say it's her or me, I'd think like, what do I do? It'd be pretty tough. You know, I've been there forever.
So Charlene, was she intimidating for you?
Nah. Have we met? You know, I'm a bit of a strong woman too. I am pretty comfortable with who I am and, you know, I guess how I conduct myself. And so, no, I didn't find it intimidating.
So how's it been since you left the experiment?
We haven't seen each other since we left the experiment.
So Charlene, how's it been since you left the experiment?
We haven't seen each other since we left the experiment. For 2 weeks it was just complete radio silence. And then I was like, oh, is Patrick dead? So I, you know, put in a text, I guess, and we were going to couple of, I guess, you know, small responses back. I guess probably the disappointing bit was we didn't even speak. We kind of left final vows, and Pat was solid, really in it, you know. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a little bit disappointed because I would have thought if Pat was really into it, then maybe he would have made a little bit of an effort. So I didn't.
Seriously, it took me a few weeks to get back into the groove of things. You know, I didn't talk to my mum, you know, my family, my mates. I just needed my time to do my thing.
But Pat, you were in a relationship and you have recommitted to Charlene, so she was your partner. Surely she could have been the perfect person to go to for support if you were having trouble readjusting.
It would seem, it would be the case normally. So my final vows, I was very honest. I just went all out. From what I heard, the vows were set in conditions. So I'm thinking like, I'm an emotional guy. I read into everything. I overthink everything.
There were no conditions. There was, you know, only talking about the fact of how well we got along and how we'd be crazy not to give it a go. And, you know, I didn't think it was conditional. surprise.
I definitely think that we are both misinterpreting the way we're communicating, and we need to open up the communication lines. I think that's the most important thing.
Charlene, how do you see the potential between the two of you in the future?
You know, I guess my vows were really honest, so they weren't like, you know, rainbows and butterflies, but that's not who I am either, so they were really honest to who I am. Pat's genuinely a nice guy, and I'm still trying. I don't know, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. You know.
We're both pretty stubborn, but I think if we put the effort in, I think we can make something of it. We'll see how we go.
Well, that's really good to hear. We wish you guys all the best, and we can't wait to hear how things progress.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. It's been awesome.
Now, as you know, a big part of this experiment is what happens when the group comes together. The dynamic forms, and people start to develop relationships. Alliances. Some people will really find their voice and speak out.
Because that one's on the camera.
Others tend to just step back and observe. And I think it's fair to say that one of the more vocal individuals in the group, one of the strongest contributors, was Charlene. Charlene, is that a fair assessment?
Definitely, I'm a passionate person. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. If I see something that's bad, I'll call it out.
And with that being said, Charlene, why don't you take a look at one of your most vocal moments?
Can we talk about the boring boys night? I'm really lucky because, yeah, Pat and Tone were pretty honest with each other, and
Yeah, so he's told you everything. What's he told you?
I wouldn't be comfortable if someone was offering my wife to the rest of the men at the table. Are you kidding me? I mean, did you not do that?
No, I didn't do that at all.
Did you not also Tracy?
I didn't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there, okay? No, I'm disappointed that no one wanted Tracy.
No, I did not say that. That's disgraceful, and that was never said.
You might just want to pipe down, Chachi. Oh my God. Talk about women like that. You don't trade women like commodities. You don't throw Carly under a bus, Justin, so you can push Carly out of the way and you can take Ash. Oh my God, who did that?
No, hang on. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Can you please repeat the point about my husband wanting to give me up?
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
All on camera, nothing to worry about.
Well, there certainly were a number of strong denials at that dinner party. Dean, are you feeling a little less confident about those denials?
A little. Yeah. Honestly, I don't really have any recollection of exactly what I said at the boys' night, to be honest, but I don't know, maybe I said some stuff that may come across as not so great.
Justin? Is there anything you were worried about that you might have said at the boys' night?
Not to memory, no.
I honestly don't remember. I honestly don't remember a lot of things that were said that night.
What about you, Patrick? You remember most of it pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, these guys, ripping out a few things about their missus and other girls in the group. And I can see these guys are reeling, they're just, they're still denying it.
You denied absolutely all of it, and now, suddenly, we can't remember, but at the dinner party, everyone was pretty confident that nothing wrong was said.
Alright, this is clearly a topic that creates a lot of discussion and a lot of debate still. So there's only one way really to find out what happened. That is to look back at it now. So there's only one way really to find out what happened at boys' night. And that is to look back at it now.
We're free!
time.
Let's stop with that. Guys, stop.
How about this? Has anyone else had a crack at anyone else in this experiment? Just me.
If you could have had any girls to start like swapping for
Mate, I'll say it straight up. I think Carly's beautiful.
You don't care about that? Hey, Carly's like a little sister, mate. Really? You don't care? Tell me, sister.
You just called her and Carly. She's like my sister, but I've already slept with her. That's weird.
Nah, hang on. Carly's married to everybody she wants to as well. What? Hang on. I'm asking Dean.
Really?
Yeah, that's no secret.
Now that I'm
I have at times felt a bit of a vibe from Carly.
Oh, God. How do you feel about that? Really?
Justin, are you attracted to Tracy?
Tracy's attractive, but I'm more attracted to people, to girls like Ash.
If you had the choice, Carly or Ash?
I'd pick Ash.
Wow. One swap.
I'm not, there's no spots. I'm here for a reason. That's my reason.
Look at Tracy, guys. She's hot.
Really respectful.
It was tame. That was so tame. Nothing. Harmless.
What part of that was respectful?
I think it's like typical guys night out. You have a few drinks, and that's pretty much the way all guys' nights run. Yeah, it was a fun night.
Well, I'm looking at your girlfriend's face right now, and she's not looking terribly impressed.
It's not nice to hear Justin say that, you know, he sees me like a little sister and that he would have picked Ashley over me. I don't know where the whole Dean thing came from. I don't know, when did we have a connection, Dean? I think I missed that one. Yeah, I don't know. Look, it's just not a nice thing to watch, I guess.
I don't think I said anything negative about Carly. I didn't say anything mean or nasty. And
But Justin, you were in a relationship with Carly when you offered up that information. Isn't that a betrayal of your partner?
I don't believe so. If it was, I apologise and probably have learned from that clip. But I knew when we should have done for an experiment that Carly was more like a little sister to me. Dean, looking back at boys' night, was there anything that you regretted?
Oh, I just think it's a bit of fun, and like we're all just joking. I have an extreme sense of humour. I have you know, I talk about sexual stuff in a funny way.
I found that disrespectful, you know, how he just offered me up to everyone. Like, wow.
I wasn't offering you up.
You instigated, you kept saying.
There's no intent of being nasty or disrespectful. It's all just a bit of fun. It's all just a bit of a joke.
Some stuff you just don't joke about, I think.
What bothered me about that scenario was this theme of who's hot and who's not that goes on about women a lot. And that's the thing that I was absolutely jack of.
None of the boys here are bad guys, and no one was, you know, had any intent to offend or be disrespectful to any of the women. I think they're all very respectful men, but yeah, to see your guys' reactions, I can definitely understand why you think it's a bit disrespectful and a bit inappropriate, and yeah, I apologise to all the women here in that respect.
Perhaps let's talk about the reason why we're even having this conversation. It's not to make a mountain out of a molehill. Really, the purpose here is to show that this type of discussion at a boys' night has an impact on women when they hear it. Perhaps you might reconsider the way you talk about a woman in the presence of other men next time.
Tracy and Dean, you have had a roller coaster ride in this experiment. Some highs and some lows, but particularly your relationship was rocked by scandal. And it involved Davina and Ryan. I think now is a good time for us to get you up here on the couch so that we can drill down a little more into what happened. Well, the four of you, as you sit here in front of us right now, have been involved in perhaps the largest scandal that we've seen in these experiments. It was surprising, it was shocking, and it's important for us to find out what drove some of your behaviours. What you haven't seen is the footage before. So why don't we look back now at the scandal that rocked the experiment.
Party that I was interested in, I'd pursue that.
Either way, I know what I want, but I 100% want Dean.
I just got a text from Davina. She's super hot, she's got an amazing body. I'm going to chase that up, for sure.
I went heartlessly with a tattoo which resembles her. Hopefully she can see that I want it to work.
That looks good. It is me!
Dean's everything that I would want in a man.
And if I want something, I have to go get it.
Hey.
Hi! Oh my god, I want to kiss you so bad. What?
Oh my god.
She can see it. I'm way more attracted to her than Tracy. I really want to just like see what happens with us.
Do you want to pursue that?
I do.
Private conversation.
No, it's good.
I feel like I've stepped in. Should I go and sit over there?
I don't know.
This is how I feel. Like I can't help that I'm crazy about you.
Really into you. I think you're amazing. No offense to Tracy, but her looks are not her best qualities.
You know what? I don't want my looks to be my best quality because I've got so many better
I
qualities.
know, it's not an insult. You've got a lot of good qualities.
I don't want my looks to be my better quality.
I'm not saying you're not good looking, you're very good looking.
I don't care.
You have a lot of good qualities.
That's not the point.
What?
You're a liar too, by the way. If
I'm going to give up like you're like.
You're a liar because I asked you to tell me everything, and if I saw that for the truth, I would have walked away.
So, Tracy, help us understand, what did you see there that you didn't know?
Before Davina even knew the situation between us, you were straight out the gate to take Dean from me regardless of what we were going to say on the couch the next day. And that is unacceptable, and you have no morals and no value.
Okay. Well, I've already apologized.
The worst thing, we got tattoos together. You got a tattoo on someone when you
liars.
I wouldn't do that to someone. If you're planning on running off with him, why would you do that? Make your mark and piss him off.
Well, I'm sorry that I couldn't talk to you and Tracy about it before, but we're very...
This thing about you can do things and people can call your names and you can just smile and walk off and you'll never think about it ever again.
Well, I'm so confused though. Like, I've already apologized to you guys.
You can't apologise because when you came to us leaving, you said you didn't have any regrets.
I don't have any regrets.
That's you. That sums up you, Davina, really well.
It's a real reflection on the type of person you are.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, Tracy, but I really liked Dean, and Dean was telling me he really liked me. And that's what I came here for.
You're not sorry.
No, you're not.
People like you are not sorry.
Okay. Okay, Tracy.
women like you think they can just get away with it because of the way you look.
I'm on national television. How on earth would I get away with that? I've said I'm sorry. I said I made a mistake. Like,
Actions and words speak differently.
I'm here saying I'm sorry to you guys. Davina, what do you mean when you say you feel remorseful? I don't like making people upset. I hate that. So I feel bad that, you know, Trace felt betrayed and Brian felt betrayed and that I couldn't speak to them earlier. I wish I could have done things differently, definitely. Do you believe that, Tracy?
No, I don't. Not after saying that.
I don't think there's any remorse there whatsoever.
Trust me, I'm remorseful. I feel bad. It wasn't as easy as what it looks like.
It made it easy because you say things like, I came to this experiment for myself. You come as two.
I never said that. I said I came to...
And marriage is two.
I said I came into this experiment to find love. And we weren't sleeping in the same bed.
Only because you chose not to. Because apparently you're small.
It's just...
Who cares? If you love someone, you don't...
I don't love you. I never...
Really? You never even name in that way. You just had this thing about Davina's perfect bloody life where someone was...
You know nothing about me. Brian, when all of this was playing out, you seemed to take it very well. You took it on the chin. But what we're seeing now is a lot more emotion from you.
It's like I sort of tried to let bygones and had time to think about it. And that came on, it sort of brought it all back. And it was sort of a bit more deceitful than being told rather than seeing. So it's just a bit different.
Davina, do you believe that you were entitled to go after Dean in this experiment? No, not entitled. I don't feel like I was entitled to at all. But we are in a very crazy experiment. Anything can happen.
Davina, you're blaming the experiment, but to be honest with you, what happens on camera is what you people think. You're old enough, smart enough to understand consequences. Darling, you've got to grow up, and it's not all about hashtag Davina, hashtag coconut oil. You know, you're playing with people's lives.
I just think that the most disheartening thing is that this experiment is married at first sight. It's not dating at first sight, it's not hookups at first sight. If you don't know what the word marriage means or married, just look it up and it's pretty obvious.
To Sarah's point, Davina, it is married at first sight, not hookups at first sight. So I have to ask you, what was your level of commitment coming into this experiment? I was committed to finding love. So, you know, I came in and I really was hoping for the spark or the romance and all that kind of stuff. It was very clear, pretty much as soon as I met Wright, really, that there wasn't much attraction there for me at all. So as soon as I saw Dean, I was instantly attracted to him and I thought he really liked me, and I thought what I was doing was very risky and I could lose a lot of friends and lose a lot of respect, but at the end of the day, we did have a connection. I really did like Dean and he was telling me he liked me back, so I was going to risk all of this to pursue what I thought was love. And you guys have a little switch partners anyway. You found something.
No, but you guys, it's not the same thing, Davina. Don't you dare sit there and throw me and Sean and Carly and Troy in the same way. It's not the same thing at all.
Okay, let's just draw a distinction here between being in a relationship and micro-cheating or cheating on that person with someone else through texting, emotional connection or whatever, versus ending a relationship and then pursuing a relationship with someone else. Not the same thing. If you didn't believe you were doing the wrong thing, you wouldn't have lied to these two and you wouldn't have been sneaking around behind their backs.
Dean, do you acknowledge that you did anything wrong?
Yeah. I think it was wrong of me to just be that deceitful to to Tracy, and I should have just told her that, you know, I was having doubts and that there was a little bit of a spark between Davina and I should have just told her that before I went and had a drink with Davina. I should have been more honest. I hurt a lot of people's feelings, and yeah, I really regret that.
Ryan, how do you feel towards Dean now after all of that?
Oh, so at the start, I think when I first met her, I gave Dean a lot more shit than Davina. Now it's sort of even playing field. I think he knows how I felt very well, and now Davina does.
Ryan, is there anything final that you'd like to say to Davina?
Good luck. In the best possible way.
Davina, is there anything you'd like to say to Ryan?
You're a legend, you're infectious. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure you're going to win over 1 million hearts, so.
No, we need one.
Next,
So did she break your heart?
Dean opens up about the moment Tracy turned him down. And later,
It's been really hard.
have Sarah and Tel really lasted the distance?
I literally walked through fire to make this work.
Ryan and Davina, although, you know, things haven't worked out between the two of you, we wish you all the best for the future.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Well, Dean and Tracy, once you made the decision to stay in the experiment, despite the scandal that had rocked you, you seem to really get your relationship back on track. So why don't we take a look at your time throughout the experiment?
This is your way to build the trust back up, babe. Oh, God.
I've put her through a lot, and it's going to be hard for her to really trust me again.
Hey, yo, Tracy, my little lady, you drive me crazy. After last week on the couch, I know you probably hate me, but you gave me a shot. Girl, I got your back. If you got mine, we're gonna be all right.
60 that you're in love with me.
I didn't say that.
I do love her. She's an amazing person.
Cheers to a final date I will never forget.
After all we've been through, all we've learned, and everything you've done for me, I now know that I love you.
That was very sweet. From the moment I met you at the altar, I felt a spark. Through the amazing times we've shared, you've opened my world to new experiences and so many firsts, which I've loved and I'm so grateful for. Standing before you is a woman who has understood you and your BS, stuck with you through all your mistakes. I feel like you have met your match in me. This experiment has shaken me awake and helped me see what I'm worth. And unfortunately, Dean, you don't deserve me. I'm so sorry, Dean, that I have too many doubts to trust you or to believe you truly changed. And with so much murky water under the bridge between us, I just can't continue this relationship with you.
You two certainly have had a massive journey through this experiment. Dean, you know, when you look back on that, was that hard to watch?
Yeah, it was pretty hard to watch. It was really tough, and I wasn't expecting that. I came all the way around from just not thinking there was a future, not thinking we were right for each other at all, and then you guys, you know, encouraged me to really put in the effort, which I did, and I think we built a really strong connection.
So did she break your heart?
Pretty much, mate, yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty lonely walk back from that.
The loneliest moment of my life.
Yeah.
I was really...
How did all go?
Yeah, no, I was putting my heart on the line, and
I'm thinking about
but I did think Tracy was going to, you know, reciprocate and be into it as well, so it was pretty heartbreaking when she said no.
It was really hard to watch that thing, like really hard. That wasn't an easy decision for me to make at all. Because like with such a big betrayal happens so early in a relationship, it changes everything. And as much as I tried to ignore that and just enjoy our dates and enjoy our time, it was always in the back of my mind even if I didn't show it.
Final words you'd like to say to Tracy?
Yeah, I guess I'd just like to say, you know, I'm very glad to have met you. I'm very sorry for all the trouble and pain that I put you through. And, you know, I regret a lot of my actions in that respect, but, you know, I got to meet you and we got to build that amazing bond and amazing relationship. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sticking by me, and thank you for supporting me despite, you know, all the things I put you through, and it's just been a pleasure to spend that time with you, and just, you know, a pleasure to know you as a person, so thank you.
And Tracy, from you?
As hard as it was, I really want to thank you because I feel like I've changed as a person, and you really opened my world up and really challenged me and made me step up and grow. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that.